Hello, Mr. Heap here, and now I'm joined with my son Oscar playing the other Steve in this situation. And now we're going to show you how to deal with this if there are two people in the same world, so we can have a game where two people can compete. So the first thing we need to do when we have two people is we need to figure out who the other person is or how the computer deals with it. So we're going to look at our players, and the players are MC dot get player. Oh, it's get entity IDs? No, it's get player entity IDs. Here we are. Get player entity IDs, and then open and close parenthesis. That gets them. And let's print this out just to make sure it is working right. And when I run it, all right, see it. Great. So now we can have the player 1 be a player, and we're going to index the 0, and player 2 would be indexed at the 1. Remember, Python always starts counting at 0, so the first thing is really the 0th thing, and then so we index player 1 for player 2, and so now we have our two players in the game. So whenever we want to refer to me, it'll be player 1. Whenever we want to refer to the other person, we refer to it as player 2. Now, I've noticed that my son is just making stuff over there, so it reminds me that we got to make the world immutable. So here we go. So now we don't have to worry about somebody wrecking whatever you've created. So we can run this. And when it has an error. These need to be players, not player. I called the first one player. So now we run it, and it all goes away, and Oscar pops up from the floor, and we are ready to play the game. Kinda. We've started it, but it's still not where we would want it to be. If we hit it, we can run around, hit some blocks. It makes sure it says when he gets a block, it says when I make a block, and it just puts them all together rather than separating them into player 1 and player 2. So our score is 23 together. If you want to make this a cooperative game, that's fine, but I also like to be competitive, and I don't want to destroy my son like any good parent should. So what we need to do is we need to look back, and we need to figure out how we can have two scores. We'll have score 1 being 0 and score 2 being 0, so we can keep track of both of us. I don't know what my kid's doing over there. Oh well. So we have score 1 and score 2. So now we have to figure out some way to determine when somebody gets a point and when someone else gets a point. And we determine that by when we hit a block, we can determine the entity of whoever hits that block. So that's part of for block and block set. So if that block dot entity ID is going to equal player 1, so if that happens, we want to give that point to player 1. So we can say stone and then say player 1, so we know that player 1's the one who gets the point. And then we need to go in here and make sure score 1 gets a point. Score 1 increases whenever that happens. All right. Now, in order to do that, since we're in a function, we have to say global score 1 and global score 2. Otherwise, we can't change a variable that is outside of this function. All right, so we have that, and that is working good. Now we need to copy and paste that for our second person, and then we just need to change the values. So we need to change the values so our player 2 is up and ready to roll. And then when that happens, we can hit play and just kind of check to see if when we hit a stone, something is working. So I'm going to hit the stone, and it says player 1. That looks like it's functioning. Ask her, can you hit a stone? All right, there I saw it. Stone player 2. So we can at least see that that's functioning. It's determining that he's hitting it or I'm hitting it. So we can assume that the score is also going up likewise. So now we need to take that code, and then we need to figure out how we can do that for the rest of it. So I'm going to go through this really fast, and because it's doing the same thing. We're just copying and pasting it, and we'll work with glowstone here. Turn the appropriate things to glowstone. Score 1 goes up by 5, score 2 goes up by 5, and then we move on to obsidian. Just run through, I'm just doing this as fast as I can, and then obsidian goes up, and get rid of the old information, put in the new information, and there we go. And now that is looking good. Great. All right, so now we have that taken care of for setting a score 1 and a score 2. So we just need to make sure it's displayed properly. So we need to make sure that we're sure that what player 1 gets, player 2 gets, and game over. And we'll want to say player 1 gets a certain score, player 2 gets a certain score. And then we'll run it. And we can come up, hit our block, and we can both go through. You can see he got a glowstone, I got a diamond, he got a glowstone. And you can keep track. And you can see, like a good dad, I beat my son 25-10. And now it says, do we want to play again? So it's working.